Alright. Blue-white Spirits. This is a little bit different than the last time we played Spirits. We've got specifically 4 copies of Reflector Mage in the main deck here. So I'm interested to see how this goes. A little bit more 3-drop heavy. More 3-drop heavy probably makes the Aether Vials even better just because it gives you a little bit more value off of those. We got the full 4 Mutavaults in the mana base. What's going on up? Yeah, the Tron League had some good sets of it yesterday. We did a lot of what could only be described as Tron things. Yeah, it sounds great. I think it's just like really good, right? We're on the play. We have a Vial. We got a couple of 2-drops, a couple of 3-drops. Watch your last YouTube video with Spirits. You're commenting to add a couple lands and more creatures in place of Vials. Yep. Yeah, this is a different build. So this is a viewer submitted list like a lot of the things that we do here. So this is not I tried to put some thought into it and then came to this conclusion. Reflector Mage is not a spirit. That is correct. It is, however, a good blue-white tempo card. Aether Vial also not a spirit. Weird. That's strange. I think spirits could benefit from Bugler. So, I think, and this is something we talk about a lot on this channel, I think a lot of people's... Basically, people hate losing matches of Magic against decks that are grindy. And people, Moradeth, thank you for the 6 months. I appreciate the half a year. Welcome back. Basically, people love to overboard and over-adjust for matches that involve grind and hate adjusting for matches where people are getting under them. And weird that we shocked on one and then both didn't path this and didn't spell snare me and didn't opt. So, like, is this, it's a mirror match? Feels like a mirror match, right? Let's see if we can get him with the block here. Rats. That's fine. Lordy. Yeah, the 4-color Geist deck was really sweet. Well, green-black's not the big thing anymore, but like Jeskai and blue-white controller still decks that people play with some consistency. People love them, some Hallowed Fountains. Secret Muffin with the 3-month resub. Thank you very much and welcome back. I appreciate it. Thank you for the continued support. I'm going to push this bad Mamma Jamma up to 3 here. I'm going to fire up this Mutavault. And I'm going to get my smash on, chat. I'm going to get my smash on. Keep up the spirit. Thank you, Lukatog, for the bits. I do appreciate it. Hey, Maxon. Yeah, should be sweet. Save a Path to Exile or something here. Yep. It's a shame we didn't draw another Lord to punish them there. It's possible I should have been aggressive and just like Reflector Mage this. Haven't been able to watch for the past couple of months due to my summer job, but I'm back at school now and looking forward to watching on a daily basis. American Gamer, thanks for keeping up the subs over the summer. I hope you had a good summer and having a good start back to school. Thank you for the 10 months. All right, let's just drop this dookie into play here. Tell them to pick their stuff up. All right. I'm assuming this is a mirror. I'm assuming this is a mirror. I actually don't feel like we really have any sideboard cards for the mirror. I guess Blessed Alliance is probably... Thalia's pretty medium, and I guess Blessed Alliance, like, kind of okay. It can kill an attacker, and it can target Phantasmal Images with the untap ability. So I guess I'm going to play that. Well, that makes a quarter of a year then. Dougie Adams, thank you for the quarter of a year support. Welcome back. Have a nice pair of boots for your trouble. Thanks for helping build Hooglandia into the great nation it is today. Stony stops their vial. You are technically correct. Which one could argue is, in fact, the best kind of correct. I think Dispel for Path is too narrow. Like, bringing in cards, they're going to hit like 4 to 6 cards out of their deck seems really narrow. What do you think of the Tormod Crypt Spirit with legs? Yeah, this hand is also really good. And let's not forget to pump 4-color Geist with some democracy. Thank you for the bits. I appreciate it. I'm going to have to definitely... I think we're definitely going to put like 2 Bolas in there when we play it again. Someone said, what do we think of Tormod Spirit? I think the Tormod Spirit is good as a main deck way to have Graveyard Hate in your deck, but I don't think it's a good sideboard card. I think if you want to board Graveyard Hate, you should just be playing something like Rest in Peace in these colors. So I think if you feel like you're in a spot where main deck Graveyard Hate Spirit is okay, then it's fine to main deck, like maybe in the Thalia slots or the Phantasmal Image slots in this deck, but I don't think it's a card I would want to sideboard. I think there's a viable mono blue devotion deck in Modern. Probably not. Modern's really a format about tempo and playing to the board, and those cards, like, sticking to that requirement basically, like, locks you out of a pretty wide selection of cards that you could potentially be in. And, what's the word I'm searching for? And, blue doesn't really have a good way to consistently be impacting the board, which is a big deal. No, in my experience, none of the devotion decks in Modern are particularly good. White weenie list to get started on. Not that I'm familiar with. Audric and Taxes. That's interesting. Nebelgast Herald. Okay. That one's tough to race. That is a mean spirit. I guess Reflector Mage is like a little bit less good here because we have a hard time with the Vial, especially they could put their stuff back into play. That's pretty good. Actually, it's not good because it's explicitly not good because they're going to be able to target it very easily. These are my spirits. My spirits are very large. It turns out drawing lots of lords in the mirror might be good. I'm still testing this theory, but there's a chance that drawing lots of lords in the mirror is good, chat. That being said, being on the draw here, we might be a touch behind. The new corporate slivers only lord themselves, so it's gotta be a sliver shill. Their Selfless Spirits make racing kind of interesting because, like, if they leave back enough creatures here, each Selfless Spirit is basically a fog. Put my sub towards 4-color Geist. 10 out of 10 Bionic Broccoli will do. I didn't think that was going to be when we were going to wait too long on to see again. That deck was really sweet. Just plays a lot of cards that people love playing. Drogskol Captain. Alright. So we're dead in 2 here, basically. How many blockers do I want to leave back, I guess, is a real question. I'm going to leave that on 2 for now. I'm going to put this into play. I'm just going to go ahead and attack with one of these. They're out of creatures in their hand. Although I guess if they rip any spirit here, we're basically dead. Moorland Haunt is, like, uniquely annoying. Just leaving all their stuff back here, huh? Alright, I think I'm gonna go ahead and... I forgot to put this into play. The reason why I didn't do that is because I forgot. That's a Rattlechains. Rattlechains actually is potentially very good for us here because it allows us to protect our things from being tapped down, which is nice. So what happens if I attack with this? If I attack with this, my Reflector Mage can bounce something, and then I block 3 and then I don't die. My Rattlechains can also come in here. I think I'm actually just going to attack with... No, I think I want the 5 defense. Is it worth trading my Supreme Phantom for 2 of their things? Probably. Yeah, let's attack like this. Depends on how they block here, too. They could, like, stack block. Weird that they didn't even want to get something in the bin for the Moorland Haunt. The fact that they have this Nebelgast Herald is, like, really good for them. Aether Vial being on 3 for Drogskol Captain is also pretty good. And I still didn't put this stupid Aether Vial into play. This thing should be on 2 right now, but I'm an idiot. Don't mind me. Just slowly trucking in. I think we're supposed to be... I think we're supposed to be pretty dead here. Not sure why they haven't really killed us yet. This doesn't really accomplish anything, so it just, like, sends this back, and then it comes back in, but I don't really have anything to do here. I could have imaged my Selfless Spirit. Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, if I would have played this at the appropriate time, I'd be able to image my Selfless Spirit here and then sacrifice it, and that would be really good, actually. But the fact that I didn't do that at the opportune time is pretty bad for me. Do I want to trade Selfless Spirits here? I don't know. I think I kind of want this back on defense. I think I'm fine just trading Supreme Phantom for Selfless. I don't know. I feel like we were supposed to have lost this game like 6 turns ago. My opponent just like hasn't been pressuring us for some reason. And we're pretty dead. Maybe we would have had a chance if I would have ticked this up, but I didn't, so here we are. This mirror match seems really uninteresting. So that was a question. Someone was talking yesterday about someone asked the question, do I generally enjoy mirror matches? And the answer is definitely, it depends. Like, some mirror matches have a lot of interesting bob and weave to them, and some of them are just like, you were on the play, you had a vial, you curved out. Like, those are... Well, we'll see here. I don't have a vial here, so this will be the first of these games where the person on the play doesn't have a vial. So far it was, I had vial on the play game 1 and ran them out of the game. They had vial on the play game 2 and ran us out of the game, so... Maybe a game that doesn't involve the Aether Vial will have a little bit more bob and weave to it. Jundmere has lots of bob in it. Legacy Delver makes awesome mirrors. I actually really didn't like the Grixis Delver mirror in Legacy, unless you're referring to a different Delver mirror match. The Grixis Delver mirror in Legacy ended up too often with one person just getting wastelanded out of the game and not playing Magic to be interesting for me. This is a deck someone donated for yesterday to move on up. We also, this particular build of Spirits that we're playing doesn't really have reasonable cards for the Spirits mirror in it. Like, Reflector Mage is really bad against Aether Vial, etc., etc. Mid-range day, I mean, we're starting with the tempo deck, and then the second deck is literally like an all-in combo deck, so I guess if by mid-range day you mean the last 2 decks are mid-range decks, that's definitely accurate. Mid-range and tempo are close enough. I disagree with your assessment. I think they're functionally very different. Yeah, this is a good block on their part. And these Reflector Mages just like sitting here looking really terrible. I could see them potentially being good in non-mirror matches, but here they're definitely just like these poopy 2/3s for 3 mana that just like don't have a meaningful impact on the board. I believe Stream Decker is updated. Keep in mind the Stream Decker on mobile is bugged and does not update at all ever. You have to manually clear your app cache. I guess we'll sit here and keep attacking, but we really don't have anything going on. I guess I'm going to Queller their Queller. Would you mind explaining differences between tempo and mid-range? I can really never tell the difference, except black likes to be mid-range and blue tends to be more tempo. That's a really easy, quick TLDR. Tempo is a word that generally refers to aggro control decks. Tempo in general in TCGs tends to refer to decks that are willing to give up card advantage for the sake of resource efficiency. So like a great example of a tempo card is something like Vapor Snag, where Vapor Snag is a card that's putting you down a card technically against your opponent, but you are gaining resource efficiency because you're spending 1 mana to likely send a card that costs more than 1 mana back to their hand. Mid-range decks are decks that tend to not only end the game somewhere in the turn 5+ range, but also tend to have a lot of 1-for-1 interactions. So they tend to lean into not having card disadvantage like you would from a tempo deck. Alright, well, it looks like their draw is also really bad potentially, so... Path to Exile. That's brutal. Yep. Yeah, Aether Vial is another good example. This is a card that's powerful because it gets you ahead on resources. It allows you to basically effectively generate extra mana by putting creatures into play sooner rather than later. But it's technically card disadvantage because you're spending a card to gain that resource advantage. Like, it's virtually the same as a land, right? Yeah, I'm doing all right. The more I play with this blue-white spirits deck, the less impressed I am by it. I honestly just like playing these kind of like tempo-y, small edges decks that are trying to be aggressive without the card Lightning Bolt. Just like feels bad and wrong. It feels awkward for a lot of the same reasons that Fairies feels awkward. Blue-black Fairies feels awkward to me a lot of the time. Yeah, and I just, like, can't do anything here because they just have the Aether Vial and I have all these Reflector Mages not doing anything. Honestly, I don't know if... honestly, I'm just, like, not a huge... The more I play this might be the last time I accept Blue-White Spirits as a deck. Just not a huge fan. Just, like, feels thoroughly... Yeah, decks like these feel like worse versions of humans. Yep, like... They're doing very similar things to what humans is doing with a lower average card quality and power level, essentially. Could Jeskai Spirit have something to it, or is there just too much in one pool and not in the other? I don't know what you mean by that, Ed Bingo. I have no idea, Diva. To set the bar super low, I think the Spirits deck is probably better than Slivers. But again, that's a low line to kind of stumble across. J-Mac wins. Thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Awesome. I'm glad you've been enjoying it. Thanks for helping keep me employed here. I don't have an opinion on why Reflector Mage needs to be in this list. This is a viewer-submitted deck list, and in the first match we played, which was a Spirit's Mirror, Reflector Mage was actually exceedingly bad. That being said, in this current game that we're playing, Reflector Mage is looking like it might be reasonable. It's going to allow us to buy a little bit of tempo back on the board. We were talking about, like, what defines tempo earlier, and, like, Reflector Mage is a card that is very tempo-oriented. It's a card where the body's not particularly impressive, but it's setting your opponent back resources when you play it. One of the things that Spirits is good at, that Reflector Mage doesn't really go hand in hand with, is the fact that, like, Spirits often gets to just ignore things that are on the ground and just fly over them, and, like, Reflector Mage kind of tries to fight the game on this weird axis. Sure, you have a collecting company. Yeah, we're just super dead. Yeah, Nebelgast is interesting. I don't know. Like every time we play this deck, it just like feels kind of eh. The more and like here I don't have any cards to board in again. I just like actually have no cards in the sideboard to board in against an elf deck. Just like no extra ways to kill creatures. These Thalias are bad. The more I play with this archetype, the more it feels like people are playing it just to play bad humans. I don't know. Humans has tempo and better disruption and real forms of card advantage and is more aggressive on the back of Mantis Rider. Blessed Alliance kinda has text. I mean, kinda. A 2-1 First Striker is probably better. I mean, no, I think a 2-1 First Striker is going to block more of their stuff. Like, Thalia kills a 1-1 in combat. A Blessed Alliance is going to kill a 1-1 in combat. I mean, this is modern, and people are going to be able to do well with whatever decks you want. You have to remember, when you're seeing those people do well at events with those decks, you're only seeing a small glimpse of their actual games. You don't know how their games are actually playing out. Please put this towards Blue White Fog. P.S. I have a dirty Twitch secret. I'm not actually a grandfather. I'm a 20-year-old college student. Oh, Mason. Oh, Mason. Thank you for the bits, though. I appreciate it. As always, anybody that donates $1 or more, cheers 100 bits or more, you're always welcome to add those to a deck in the queue. But I'm better against sweepers. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, and like this is, we have Thalias and Reflector Mages, and like I've seen other builds of Spirits that just like have a bunch of Reflector Mages in the board, or have a bunch of Thalias in the board, and they board them in most of their matchups. It's like, well, if Thalia's just good, why aren't we just playing the main deck? And now why aren't we just playing humans? The last time we played Bant Spirits with the 2-drop Lord, I was just really unimpressed with the 2-drop Lord, or with company specifically, I mean, because when you have less 3-drops in your deck, suddenly all of your collected companies are worse because spending 4 mana to get 4 mana worth of creatures doesn't generate a lot for you. But you have to cheers. Let's donate to add to the queue. Details on how the donation deck system can be found here. The Hasty Pastry. If you have any questions on specifics, feel free to drop me a line in private. 65 TB. Thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. Welcome. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Or the bot is dead this morning. bit.ly/HugelSellout finds you all the details on how the donation queue works on the stream. Awesome, dog. Yeah, I always try to host people playing Modern when I sign off. I sign off about 3 o'clock Central Standard Time every weekday now. So if you are an aspiring Modern streamer, you should message me and be like, hey, Jeff, I'm going to be streaming Modern when you sign off. Would you host me? And I'll be like, yeah, that sounds great. Let's set it up. Snap Cryptic with the brand new Twitch Prime. Thank you very much and welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed this month. I do appreciate it. bit.ly/donation queue will show you the list of upcoming decks that we're going to be playing on stream. jeffhoagland.com/decklist will find you all of my personal deck lists and the configurations that I like for them. I'm going to try one more because I feel bad just like scrubbing a bunch of matches with this deck, but I'm not really interested in playing more of this deck, I don't think. I think I'm pretty done here. I'm going to play one more. My setup says it's a minimum of 2 matches, but I feel like I need one. Like, if we find, like, a Hallowed Fountain deck or a control deck, we could probably play a good game of Magic against them, but this deck feels really awkward. Just, like, the assessment of bad humans, it's just doing very similar things with some cards that are kind of cutesy instead of good. Just, like, play higher quality cards. Oh, look. Humans with a bunch of lands in my hand and none of them are Horizon Canopy. I mean, okay. Oh, sorry, I set my water bottle down kind of hard. Ooh. It'll be a weird deck with so many flyers to be on the no-fly list. Yeah. Magic related links are always welcome in chat. 4 months of fun bucks to you, Scouty. Thank you for the 4 months of support. I appreciate it. And now, just like, we're playing against... and we have a bunch of past exiles in our hand. And we have no pressure. And I have like 2 copies of... I am just very done. Yeah. That was... I'm just...